It's an honor to be here. And in true fashion, though, we're here as a combined team. I see we've got our combined officers here from the Great ROK Army. We do have our leadership, our DCG from 8th Army, Sean Crockett, and we got, I think I see the USFK Star Major. So we always pack pretty deep when we travel because we are second to none in that venue as well. I look forward today just to kind of giving you an update, not only on the 2nd Infantry Division, where we're at, what we're doing, and where we're going, but on the peninsula as a whole, as a combined division, but also combined with 8th Army. You know, we are combined at every level, and we'll talk a little bit about that. But I want to, first we'll start off with a few videos, and then we'll get after it. Up a little bit what we're doing in the 2nd Division the last few years here. We can go to the next, you can go ahead and go to the 8th Army video and then we'll pop it in if that's okay. Yeah. You're fine. It's only 100 people watching. We're good. No pressure.
Launching a new round of missiles. 3 ballistic missiles towards the east.
U.S. and South Korea sent 8 surface-to-surface missiles.
In the 2nd Division, uniquely from other divisions in the Army, is that we're obviously the forward, we're forward presence, the only assigned forward deployed division in the Army's inventory, but we're combined. And we're combined at the team leader all the way up to the division DCG level. And so as you just kind of look at our quick task org, you know, about 11,500 U.S. You add the 16th Mech Brigade and the ROK staff and the Katusas. It's up there in about the 15.5. But that's what makes us unique. And you know, every combined arms battalion that comes into Korea and trains, they train with a ROK mechanized brigade. They train with ROK engineers. They are supported and enabled by the ROK staff officers that are a part of the combined division staff. You know, some of you guys, you know, the School of Advanced Military Studies or SAMS, you know, every staff officer in section probably has a SAMS graduate or something equivalent that resides in 2ID's divisional staff. So Like our example, a former battalion commander is our C5, our ROK C5. He mentors that SAMS major that hasn't yet to go, and he's doing his utilization, and before he'll go down and do his KED job. That's the power of what the 2nd Infantry Division staff brings to us. And you can see we are an offensive division on the move for an old plan, doing LISCO stuff. Large-scale combat operations has never left 8th Army and the 2nd Division. During the 20 years of COIN, we've maintained that role and mission. We've picked up some other specialty missions, the NEO, the counter-WMD, the counter-fire task force, our aviation brigade and divisions work with the ROK 2nd Fleet. So we are a joint and combined formation just in its manner and its missions and what we do. A couple of things I kind of want to leave with you. If you think about some of the discussion prevailing through land power, I think, from a strategic land power narrative, we are one of the hubs of the regional land power network. And the ROK U.S. alliance is very strong, obviously, since 1950 on and off, and the division's been there since 60, so about 65 years. That expertise that they provide us, and as we kind of push each other, iron versus iron, sharpening us up, I think is really our biggest superpower. That, and I talked about, we are integrated at the team leader level. Those Katusas, that brigade, the staff, the 8th Army that's combined, and here soon, 19th ESC, a combined ESC, if you think about the power of that, and what we're going to need as we continue to work on our posture, setting the theater, refining the theater, to truly be able, not just to fight tonight, to fight and prevail tonight, not just in our dedicated mission air against North Korean aggression, but looking at kind of our geography and geometry. We're 400 miles from Russia, 111 miles from the PRC border, about an 800-mile-an-hour plane ride to the Taiwan Straits, and then obviously, 7 kilometers from North Korea, where we're postured right now. We've got to be ready. We know the sense of urgency has got to be there. We got about 4 minutes and 30 seconds to respond and be ready. But more importantly, the 30 or 60 days we have to have stoppages on, we got to make sure our theater is set, and that's what we're fighting today to do. This is a theater that is a readiness-producing theater. So when units come here, whether it's a Stryker brigade, a chemical company, an MP company, you leave better than you arrived because we train. And we have limited ranges and capability, but I think the other part of our superpower is our ROK partners give us access to things that we never would have had. Last few years, you can see there this KCTC, that's the Korea Combat Training Center. And, that probably started with JPMRC and some of our exercises and OAIs in the Pacific, and really shoulder-to-shoulder relations with 8th Army and the ROK over the last, 60-plus years. But, that helps our brigades as they come into theater get that task force level combat training center experience, in addition to real-world, mission readiness rehearsing on the border. And so I think that's some good things that we're able to do now. And then as we, the other piece I think that we continue to work is just that training produces some outcomes that we probably don't get across the Army. The cab flies the most, hours in the Army, about 17,500. We shoot about 200% of our STRAC, drive about 50,000 just wheeled miles last year, about double or triple what a FORCECOM division gets to do. But we do that because we're not really in an exercise, or our competition is our day-to-day activities. We're doing it for reals, and it demands us to do that. So the natural usage of the division, I think, keeps us sharp, but it also demands that we stay sharp so we can fight tonight. The other thing I'd like to talk about, I think there's just a lot of opportunities there, and as we continue to push, as the NDS says, that the Pacific is the priority theater, to just don't limit that traverse to the second island chain. Work your way all the way into Korea, and because there's a lot of activities. We talked about that geometry, our position, along with our partners, and gives us, I think, some opportunities of cheating that tip fit, as Admiral Paparo discussed. And we're inside of an IAMD bubble, and I think we need to continue to leverage that. The division, we're focused on our mission that 8th Army has given us, and that's to deter and partner with our ROK allies to North Korean aggression. But we haven't forgotten as we expand pathways and as we look at some of the Axis alliance and collaboration that's going on between Russia, North Korea, and China. We've got to be prepared to support, you know, from 8th Army across a regional span and that geography that's not beyond just our partnership to the north. I'll kind of shut up for a little bit. I do want to I got Brother Crockett up here. If you all have any questions, we can also talk just kind of where we're going now, you know, and then what we're doing with, you know, whether it's 8th Army, US-ROK, and in the 2nd Division. It's a golden opportunity where we're at. We're getting back to training, and a lot of the capacity has not only just been stood back up, you know, post-COVID, but has expanded greatly. So as you look at the readiness that we're building, battalion level T1 training readiness, but it's more than just coming over to Korea to build readiness. We could do that in the United States. We're actually rehearsing, and I think by rehearsing in a combined nature, the uniqueness of it, we're also bringing up our partners and doing that while we're trying to transform in contact, you know, with on our own dime, but we're all having to do that just as a nature of the force modernization, force structure changes, and just redefining the division fight and bringing a lot of that capability out of the brigade combat team back up into the division. That's kind of our focus right now, reestablishing the division in the offense. And so, you know, I think you come to Korea, I said that when I first took command, been in command about a year, it is the seed corn for warfighting and field craft for the rest of the Army. And so you come, and we teach you how to, you know, fight tonight, fight out of your rucksack, fight out of your striker, your rocket, your missile, fight as a, you know, an NBC crewman, and then you take those multiple reps that we get because you're continuously training, and you have to go back out to the rest of the Army and show what that training management looks like, and show what that warcraft, fieldcraft looks like in an era where we're still regaining our core competencies for LSCO. So, Sean, anything? Bring our 8th Army Command in here.
1, 2. Hey, so first off, apologies for being out of uniform. I am the acting 8th Army Commander right now in the interim as we bridge this gap, and I just want to pick up on a couple of things that General Lombardo talked about from an 8th Army perspective. First, the ironclad commitment we have with our ROK counterparts, long-standing, well past 70 years, and we can't do what we need to do without our ROK counterparts. That's the first thing, and absolutely critical to what we do every day. The second piece to this is armistice is not peace. We live and breathe in phase 0 every day. And so when you talk about the standing requirements in phase 0 of like base defense as an example, we have a steady state base defense requirement for our camps, posts, and stations. So it is somewhat unique. We are in the range fan every day, tip to tail in South Korea. Now, the bad actors up north, he has become more than just a regional threat of the past. He is now a global threat. And so the video, when you see 8th Army video, you see two homelands. You see South Korea, the greater Seoul metropolitan area, but you also see the continental United States, because there is no doubt that we're protecting both homelands. Mm-hmm. The third piece to that is when we execute our wartime tasks, many of those tasks are executed simultaneously. There is a big draw on combat power, on a limited combat power that we have on the peninsula, to execute those wartime tasks simultaneously. I hope that helps. Maybe that fosters some discussion and or questions moving forward. I appreciate the opportunity to speak to you. Appreciate the time. Thanks, sir.
Thanks. Yeah, and I think kind of stepping off of that before we take questions, the other part of that is, you know, with the simultaneity needed to execute in our O-plan environment, we have to have a persistent environment, and that starts with a persistent training environment that enables the persistent operating environment that we're working from. But the thing I would ask, you know, I talk to industry many times, and what I would continue to seek is a persistent experimentation environment. There's where I think we have some meat on the table that we're leaving, and some opportunities. The fact that every day, and you see the videos, whether we're doing a wet gap crossing on the Engine River, we're conducting, you know, live rocket shoots right there on the North Korean border. We're conducting breaching operations, you know, combined with the ROK US. There are a lot of opportunities with manned, unmanned, AI, machine learn, that we need to work And then I think finally, while we have probably the tightest, most established, mature alliance relationship between, the ROK US, it's the strongest. I'm biased about it, but just in duration and experience, we still need to work on our command and control and our networks. We're co-located in every facility. USFK and 8th Army, all of us, the division, we're in same rooms at times, but we got to get on the same networks, and they really have to be one. That Centrix K, the mission partnered environment, and in all the other, some bespoke but really great AI machine learning tools that are out here in industry that the U.S. is using. We've got to get those to our ROK partners so they're one. And we have some of the finest analysts, Fusion, it's doing real world, enemy documentation and assessments on a daily basis. So those reps are like sitting there. We need to really get industry, get you out to the pen, just keep going a little farther to the west, and and we're open for business, and we're open 24/7. So with that said, hey, I just wanted to say thank you for coming, and then just hearing our initial pitch. We're really proud to be back out here with 8th Army, and doing a lot of that out on the security zone, really, of the Pacific. And then we look forward to future collaboration with you all, and in learning really from not just what we're doing on the peninsula, but the 8th Army 1st Corps collaboration that's going, and the continued expansion of pathways, I think is a positive thing for us, and it really helps us find some of those reps and helps us build out our AI, if you will. I'll stand by for any questions.
Good afternoon, sir. Jeff Freeman from Camgian. Has there been any uptick in counter-UAS operations on the peninsula like other parts of the world?
Absolutely. Just open source, between the balloons and the UAS, it's about 6,000, over the last year or so. And I do think that's an area, like, we have good magazine that can see stuff. What we got to continue to work on is defeat mechanisms that can protect our soldiers on the MDL and throughout the depth. And they're getting good. They're targeting. They're walking a lot of the balloons and systems in. But yeah, that is a concern. Just in armistice, are we able to protect ourselves and continue to react to it? Just I think as the rest of the Army is working through with TIC, the small counter UAS at echelon from squad level all the way up to our air defense formations. Sir, Ken. She'll sprint over with a camera.
Yes, thanks, General. Ken Kreitzer, CamVets Media. You mentioned the 4-minute, 30-second warning that you would have before of some type of an attack. Yeah. I was just curious if you could explain how that works, what notifications you might get, and what instant reactions you have to make.
Well, without getting too classified here, sir, that's just our basic posture, and I think the time standards we all, regardless of what theater you're in, the type of early warning that we have, we know it's very short period of time. So I think that really links us to, fighting tonight, but really fighting now. There's no margin of really error that our forces, especially up at, on Dongachong and Camp Casey, that they have. And they're charged with that, and that's why we're ready. We have ready formations at the ready without zero warning. That's our commitment to our ROK partners. Yes, sir. Any other questions? It's like the last guy between you and some surfing or, a Mai Tai. But, hey, we wouldn't have, let's let us end where we began. But, hey, thanks for, being a part of this and showing up and engaging with us. And we'll stand by afterwards if you have any other questions. But thanks for your support for the division and 8th Army. Thank you very much.